Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to a round of Modern that we had on our live stream over at twitch.AlternateUniversesLive. On the left, we have Jake Landash playing an interesting version of Reanimator, and on the right, we have Seth Carver playing what I at first thought was Zoomer Jund, but it's just quote unquote Zoomer Gruul. It's just Gruul mid range, and it's a really sweet deck. Yeah, if I remember, Jake is on the black, white, green version of Reanimator. I don't believe he had the pieces to do the Esper version, which is my preferred version of the Reanimator deck. But Jake had a lot of cool stuff going on for him. He's going to turn one fetch a Zagoth, while Seth is just playing a Copperline Gorge and putting a Ragavan into play. I'm going to apologize for the contrast on the video. We were playing around with it a bit on the stream. So it ends up getting corrected later in this round and then for the rest of the rounds. But putting in a Sacred Foundry, doesn't look like he's shocking it. He's putting it in tapped and going for a Prismatic Ending on the Ragavan. Ending is one of those cards that the more and more that I play it, the more and more that I like it. Literally every single time I've cast a card, I'm like, this never feels bad. It's such a good card. Alright, tap into for a Tarmogoyf. Looks like he's got a couple different removal spells in hand. Looks like that's an Assassin's Trophy. Huh? Priest of Felright's coming down. Now it's interesting because a lot of the Esper lists have started to move off of Priest of Felrights. I guess because it's just a little too slow, which is understandable, right? It's a two mana creature that has to survive a turn in a format that plays a lot of removal spells. And there's the Unholy Heat. We could see the Ephemerate in Landash's hand, in Jake's hand. So or at least what looks like an Ephemerate. Contrast is going to mess with a couple of the things. Fetching a response. Is he going to Ephemerate the Priest of Felrights? Yeah, I guess so. Yep. And the priest with the Ephemerate. I'm gonna get every damage with a pretty small Tarmogoyf. I think it just lands at instance right now. And here comes the second Tarmogoyf. While not the house it used to be, it's still capable of running people down. Right? Obviously to not cast the Ephemerate. Cannot tell what that is. I think it's the card he was telling me about, where you can like top 5 look at the top 5 pick a creature or land, put that in your hand, and then put the rest in the yard. Which has a pretty cool interaction with Priest of Felrights. I mean, it dumps stuff into your yard. You can then reanimate with the priest. The only I don't know about mediocre thing about priest is that you have to pay life to do it. Though I believe she can hit legendary creatures which persist cannot. So dumps a Thoughtseize of Grief, Concealed Courtyard, and something else. Right. Gonna priest out the grief. And Dragonthrow Channel, Clothis, and a Stomping Grounds. A Fatal Push in his hand? I think so. I don't know if Jake is in a good spot here. Seth just has creatures. As I was saying, the Grief does not trade with the Tarmogoyf. It just blocks one for now. Here's the Darcy, with a Dragon's Rage Channeler, and then a Soul Guide Lantern. And this is kind of just the nail in the coffin for Jake, because he's never going to be able to, like, set up properly now. Because if he dumps an icon into the graveyard, Seth is just going to pop it with the Soul Guide Lantern. Yep, scoop it in and go into game 2. I'll see you in a hot second when we get back to game. And we're back for game 2. Oh, we have Reanimator on the play this time. Looks like he's deciding to keep it 7. The hand doesn't look amazing. I can't make out enough of Seth's hand. Alright, cool. So he's shipping it. Yeah, I can't make out enough of Seth's hand. I see the Stomping Grounds and looks like a Ragavan. Someone is shaking my tripod. Yeah, I see what looks like a Stomping Ground, a Ragavan, a Lightning Bolt. That's all I can make out there. Lord. I gotta say, I do like this deck, this Gruul deck. Red-green's always been an interesting color combination to me, and from like Ponza stuff, like it's nice to see Gruul, that like a Gruul deck that isn't Ponza. I feel like it's the only one I've seen in the last year or so. Alright, so we're gonna Grief Ephemerate turn 1. Or are we just griefing turn 1? That's interesting. I'll take the Soul Guide Lantern. See, I'm not that big a fan of like raw griefing on turn 1, because especially after a mull, if you don't have the Ephemerate. Ooh, Abundant Harvest. Okay. Looking like he calls non-land, grabs a red and 6. And now he's just going to ensure land. As long as he has a fetch land, he's going to ensure land drops for the rest of the game. Or at least as long as Ren is on the board. There's the Verdant. And we're most likely going to see the red and 6 come out this turn. Especially since, like, Jake missed a land drop. Like, now, if Jake does find a land here, he does, it looks like he has a Prismatic Ending in hand, so he can deal with the red and 6, but I am not hopeful. Oh, there we go. Did he fetch out? Let's say the Evergreen Tomb. Alright, here comes the... That's Satyr Wayfinder. That is a Satyr Wayfinder. Okay. Interestingly, opting to not just get rid of the red and 6. I think think I would just get rid of the red and 6, but I understand. Trying to set up his line of play. Unfortunately, I don't think his drops into the graveyard were that good. Ryan's going to ping the Satyr, and I'm going to see an Urza Saga come down. And a Colossus. I think like my argument for like removing the Ren isn't just because, Seth can fetch out a land every turn. It's he can start reoccurring Urza Sagas. Right. There's the ending on the Colossus. And I see an Archon, what looks like a Persist, and a Priest of Felrites in Jake's hand. Interesting. I guess he needs a red source, but interestingly, fetching out the mountain or using the unknown fetch land to go get it. A basic. Okay, buys back the Wooded Foothills. And just passes. Okay. Leaves him the ability to make a dude or make a construct and then shoot something down with the bolt if he has to, assuming he has a bolt or unholy heat in hand. Comes the Priest of Felrites and an unholy heat in response. That makes a dude. I do quite like these, like, red Urza Saga decks, man. Like, they're so entertaining to watch and to play, but makes it another guy, sacks the Saga to its trigger. And I'm not... Yeah, you can see me playing with the fix to contrast now. Only, like, halfway through game 2. But I had to, like, pop around and go look around the store and do stuff. Alright, Pyrite Spell Bomb. I believe this is the one if you sack it, you can deal damage to any target. That would make sense. The blue one bounces something. The black one exiles graveyards. I don't know what the white one does. Probably gains like 2 life. And then the green one, if there is a green one, I don't know what that does. Alright, gets in for 3 damage with the construct. And buys back probably the Urza Saga, right? Yeah. Playing Sagas as land for turn. Once again, playing with a card that I'm not exactly sure what it is. Like, I know Jake and I talked about the deck and the card. And he told me the name. I just do not remember it. He's gonna fetch. No. Okay. I was like, I thought he grabbed the Verdant. No, played the Verdant. So if we can pull out an Arcana Cruelty, he might be okay. Archon makes Seth sack a construct. Gets Jake to go to 14. Seth goes down to 13. I don't know if there's an Archon in the yard, but you can hope, right? Ooh, that old border foil. Oh, okay. I guess he just has the emissary and not the other stuff, but. If he chooses instance, he can't lose it to an unholy heat. And he has a 6/6. Then he can use to chomp into the block the constructs. The problem is that Seth's just gonna keep pumping constructs out every turn, so Jake won't be able to run them all down. And it looks like the threat density in Seth's hand is pretty high. I feel like I have to mention Seth's shirt. I think he's wearing a Coca-Cola t-shirt, but it says Nico Bolas on it, or Nico Colas, and I don't know if I love or hate that. Like, it's quality, but it's also, like, meme to the point of being like, good lord. Alright. So, I'm gonna attack in, block, make a construct. That deal 4 damage. Of the other construct. Now, he can't pick up a land this turn because he did shoot. He did ping Jake for damage, but that's not really a problem right now when you're on turn 5. Haven't missed a land drop. Actually, it's turn 6. Haven't missed a land drop. Your Urza Sagas, you've played 2 of them. Like, he's in a good spot. Alright, just place the Tarmogoyf. Is that an Eternal Witness? Interesting. Does Jake have anything of value to reanimate here? Honestly, I think all it takes is 1 Archon. And he's like back in the game. The Archon trigger is just so useful. I don't think Ewit does enough here. It's kind of silly, but if the emissary's on instance, you could always like persist out the Priest of Fell Rites to make another blocker, but okay. Buys back the ending. Ending's the construct. It's cute. I'm about it. Alright, gonna make a dude off Saga. And I don't know what he's gonna get now. I can't imagine he plays that many 1 or 0 mana artifacts in the deck. But okay, yeah, Bubble. Bubble interacts so well with Darcy, you might as well play the card, right? And this deck looks like it'd be a lot of fun. I just don't want to rebuy red and 6s. So if this deck is still playable and all these cards aren't touched or just power crept by the time the Double Masters 2022 comes out, maybe I'll build it after that set. Ren being $100 and some, like, it makes sense because the card is really good and Jake's just gonna scoop it up. But I just don't want to buy it. Alright, folks, that is round 1 of our modern local that we had. With Reanimator versus Zoomer Gruul. We'll have 3 more rounds coming up soon, so this will probably be the first video that we uploaded. But Thanks for watching. If you want to watch live gameplay with us, we stream Magic twice a week on Mondays and Fridays. Monday is Modern, Friday is Legacy, and the channel is AlternateUniversesLive. Thank you and have a great time.